property needs, please give Tommy a call and tell her you heard it here on the Buck and Chuck Show.
Feeling all right with Buck and Chuck.
Well, that too.
And in order to remain feeling all right, and as you know, I've moved to spending more time in Cleveland than in Catawba these days, and in an effort to remain feeling all right, I might have already said that, I had to seek out a new doctor up there because somebody's got to keep me in this state of mind.
Dr. Chicago was busy.
Anyway, I was interviewing doctors and I came across one that seemed like a pretty nice guy, so we had a little question and answer session. And it kind of went like this, if I can remember it correctly. I said, Doc, I've heard that cardiovascular exercise can prolong life. Is that true? And his response was, your heart is only good for so many beats, and that's it. Don't waste them on exercise. Everything wears out eventually. Speeding up your heart will not make you live longer. That's like saying you can extend the life of your car by driving it faster. Want to live longer, Tom? Take a nap. You know, and at this point,
like that.
I thought I might be on to something, so I decided to continue the interview.
Good. This is research.
This is well, I was doctor shopping. I mean,
oh, right.
Not for a pill mill, but just doctor shopping. My next question was, so should I cut down on meat and eat more fruits and vegetables? Tommy, my son, he says, you must grasp logistical efficiency. What does a cow eat? Hay and corn. What are these? Vegetables, he says. So a steak is nothing more than an efficient mechanism of delivering vegetables to your system. Need grain? Eat chicken. Beef is also a good source of field grass, green leafy vegetable. And a pork chop can give you 100% of your recommended daily allowance of vegetable products. The next logical question I would ask any doctor is, should I reduce my alcohol intake? No, not at all, he said. Wine is made from fruit. Brandy is distilled from wine. That means they take the water out of the fruity bit so you can get even more of the goodness that way. Beer is also made out of grain, so have a cup every now and then.
So you hired this guy, did you?
Well, no. I was on my way to hiring him, but I was beginning to think, what have I been missing all these years? And what about all these senseless TV ads promoting health, if you will? I said, how can I he said, you're too old to cop a straight. I said, how can I calculate my body fat ratio? Well, if you have a body and you have fat, your ratio is 1 to 1. If you have 2 bodies, your ratio is 2 to 1, etc. Where did you go to school, lad? What are some of the advantages of participating in a regular exercise program? Can't think of a single one, he says. Sorry. My philosophy is no pain, good. So I said, aren't fried foods bad for you? You're not listening, he almost shouted at me. Foods are fried these days in vegetable oil. In fact, they're permeated in it. How could getting more vegetables be bad for you? I'm telling you, you ought to go look this guy up. I said, will sit-ups help prevent me from getting a little soft around the middle? He answered, definitely not. When you exercise a muscle, it gets bigger. You should only be doing sit-ups if you want a bigger stomach. The guy's starting to make real sense to me. Is chocolate bad for me, I say. Are you crazy? Hello, he says. Cocoa beans, another vegetable. It's the best feel-good food around. Back to the exercise. I say, is swimming good for your figure? If swimming is good for your figure, Explain whales to me, he said. Is getting in shape important for my lifestyle? You idiot, round is a shape. Well, I hope this cleared up many misconceptions you've had about food and diets, he said. And remember, I will leave you with a couple of more tidbits. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in an attractive and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in sideways, Chardonnay in one hand, chocolate in the other, body thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and screaming, "Woohoo, what a ride!" And for those of you who watch what you eat, here's the final word on nutrition and health from my doctor. It's a relief to know the truth after all these conflicting nutritional studies and false advertising on TV. The Japanese eat very little fat and suffer fewer heart attacks than Americans. The Mexicans eat a lot of fat and suffer fewer heart attacks than Americans. The Chinese drink very little red wine and suffer fewer heart attacks than the Americans. The Italians drink a lot of red wine and suffer fewer heart attacks than the Americans. The Germans drink a lot of beer and eat lots of sausages and fats and suffer fewer heart attacks than the Americans. My conclusion, Tom, he said, eat and drink what you like. Speaking English is apparently what kills you.
Very good. I like that. Where'd you find that?
He's going to work in the Halsey Institute.
Is he?
Just so you know.
More than likely be CEO. Take your job.
Oh,
So you got any music left before we have to wrap it up
I
here?
think we got another song or two. How much time we got left, boss? Okay. How about Maggie May by Rod Stewart?
That'd be a good one.
All right, let's
Stand,
have
folks. I just thought anybody who has the, I guess, what would you say, have the idea that you have some talent, tomorrow night, Friday, March 18th, you could go to Put-in-Bay with the chances of winning big bucks. They're having a talent show, 7 o'clock at the school gym. And I'll tell you right now, if you have to ask which school on Put-in-Bay, you're in trouble. Because there's only one. And you could win $100 cash, which will probably just about cover your ferry trip over and back and something to eat while you're there. Best of show prize plus other cash prizes. All ages are welcome. So Spike, Jim, Chuck, singles or groups, Mary, Kevin, you know, anybody can go.
Do you want an orange in that vodka?
And it's sponsored by the Put-in-Bay Recreation Committee. So that late breaking news just in, and we're glad we could get it in this week's show. Okay, Chuck, you got a wrapper-upper?
Yes. I'm having a little trouble with my nasal passages
I noticed
today.
that white stuff coming out your nose.
All right, well, let's play one more song, and then I got to get down the road.
Move it.
And let me leave you with this little preview, trailer, as it were.
For
Be sure
sale
you-
or rent.
Tune in, Roger Miller. Be sure you tune in next week because we have a live guest again. Jerry Davenport will be joining us with some more of his jocularity. So I'm going to leave you with this song, which is really one of the greatest rock and roll songs ever recorded, produced, written, sung, danced to, and it's written by Keith Richards and Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones. I know some of you have heard of them. I know Bob's given me a quizzical look, but it's called Honky Tonk Women. I'll see you next week, folks.
I am happy, I am gay. Sometimes I come twice a day. I'm your mailman. I'll flip your knocker, ring your bell. Don't you think I'm kinda swell? I'm your mailman. I can come in any kind of weather, for you see my bag is made of leather. I don't care for doors or locks, I'll just slip it in your box.